Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I know I am a day late and $1 short. Unfortunately, I couldn't get this trailer reaction to you guys yesterday, so I held off until today in watching this trailer so you guys could watch it alongside with me, and that is the Fantastic Four. This is now the third time that the world is trying to bring us a live-action adaptation of the Fantastic Four. Actually, it's the fourth time if you count the TV movie. That was really bad. But anyway, none of them were good. However, growing up, the Chris Evans one, those films from the early 2000s were my first exposure to the Fantastic Four, so although I'm aware those movies were terrible, that kind of set the precedence for how I view them as characters. Johnny Storm is supposed to be this cocky, wisecracking ladies' man. Mr. Fantastic is this stoic leader. The Thing is kind of this misunderstood, depressed creature now because he wants to be human, but he's just this massive rock. So this is the precedence that's set for the characters for me, even though it's kind of selfish, hoping I get a little bit of that in here. Also, that's kind of how Johnny is in the comics. Anyway, don't want to bore you guys too much. Let's get on with this trailer.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Sorry, Humphrey Bogarty. Dinner at 7, see?
Herbie, how's that sauce coming?
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
A bear reference.
Okay. Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic.
I like
Not
his
because
design.
it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
I love that robot. I love the look of it.
T-5.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny
Okay.
never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi!
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us,
Superman shot.
we'll face it together. As a
Oh,
family.
they showed him. I was not expecting them to show him. Honestly, I'm really happy they didn't show Downey as Doom, because I think that would have overshadowed the Fantastic Four here. Obviously, everyone loves Robert Downey Jr. He's playing Dr. Doom now, and I think that this movie needs to solely be advertised about the Fantastic Four and not the fact that he's in that world. He needs to be an afterthought. What did I think about the trailer? Well, really happy with the casting, at least. I love the way the Thing looks. I know we got like a brief glimpse at what he was gonna look like in that poster they released on, I can't remember if it was like Valentine's Day or Easter or something like that, but it was a while ago on like a holiday. And I was like, yeah, that looks comic accurate, but here, seeing it in live action, it looks great, and I love the dynamic of him still being that misunderstood, depressed creature, because he misses the days of being human, looking at himself in the mirror and he just sees a monster. I thought Invisible Woman looked great, her powers look great, and I love the fact that she's pretty much saying that this movie is about family. The whole core of this movie is no matter what, anything they get through, they'll get through together as a family, and I think that's crucial, that the family aspect is first and foremost in this story. That being said, I don't like that we didn't get more of the Human Torch and Mr. Fantastic. I mean, at least we got to see some of the Human Torch's powers in action. That was cool, but we didn't get to see who he is as a character. There was no like quippy one-liners, or you didn't really get any character detail with him. And the same thing with Mr. Fantastic. Clearly he loves his wife, you know, in the way that he was talking to her, but you never even get to see his powers. Like, I want to see his powers. It seemed like this was a trailer that should have kind of showed off a little bit. You see the Thing running, you see the Human Torch blasting off into space, you see the Invisible Woman using her powers, and then Pedro Pascal's kind of just cast to the side. And I mean, I'm sure we're going to get more of it in a further trailer down the line. This is just a teaser trailer where they're kind of just setting the tone, and tone they set. I mean, I love that it's like this futuristic Tomorrowland version of like the 1960s in this universe. I'm really curious how they're going to bring them into the main MCU timeline, and they're going to be like that fish out of water story. I love that they showed the back of Galactus looking at the Statue of Liberty. That is badass. I never watched the trailer, obviously, but I was looking at comments just to see and gauge where people were with the trailer, and I saw a lot of people talking about how they thought Galactus was too small. Don't forget, Galactus can shrink himself and enlarge himself in size at any given time, so I'm sure we're going to see him in different versions of his massive sizes. And look, at the end of the day, this is done by Matt Shakman, who did WandaVision, and that to me is the best Disney Plus show with the most compelling story. So I'm confident here that he's crafted a good story. And look, at the end of the day, the job of a trailer is to either raise your expectations or lower them based off of how good it was. This didn't really raise them, but it didn't lower them either. I'm still just as excited as I was prior to seeing this. But again, it's because it is just a teaser, and I already knew it was going to be this Tomorrowland-like world. I already seen like photos of them and everything. Like, I already know all their powers. It's not like I haven't read a Fantastic Four comic book. So like, yes, they set the tone, and the tone looks good. It looks like a good movie, but it didn't blow me away the way that I was hoping it was. I am also not a fan of the score. Like, look at the Superman trailer. You take something like that, where also a teaser trailer, you don't really get a lot, but the score was so moving that it almost makes you excited for it based off of that alone. Here, the score was kind of just like forgettable. So really, everything I have to go off of is just what the trailer was teasing, and to me, it just wasn't enough. So at the end of the day, I do think that this is a bad trailer, but I am still wildly excited for the movie. I love the Fantastic Four. I read a lot of the comics growing up with them. It is the first family, the first characters in the MCU. I love Pedro Pascal. I love Vanessa Kirby. I love Joe Quinn. I love Ebon Moss-Baccarat. And again, I love Matt Shakman. I think he does great work. I have no reason to think this movie's going to be bad. I didn't hate the Marvels as much as most people. I didn't hate Ant-Man as much as most people, but look, I am the movie optimist. I find the silver linings in even the worst of movies. I didn't think that any of those other movies I just named were terrible. They definitely weren't great, but I still enjoyed them, and I have no reason not to trust Feige after getting Bob Iger back. And Feige was able to kind of right the ship, because for a long time he was kind of forced to just pump out content without a lot of TLC because he was under time restraints from Bob Chapek. And now that Bob Iger's back, he kind of gave Kevin Feige the reins to reel it back in and take his time to craft a good movie. So I have faith. I don't understand why there's so many people out there like, oh, it's gonna suck. It's like, how could you form that opinion based off of a 1 minute long trailer? It's like, I don't get it, because you have sports fans that'll follow a team that loses every year for the last 25 years, but every year you show up in support of that team. But when it comes to the MCU, it's like they put out one bad movie and everyone's like, oh, F the MCU, those movies suck, it's not going to be good, this, that, and the other thing. I just don't understand that. I don't understand that negative mindset. The MCU is awesome, and everyone has a bad day at the office. Sometimes they're going to put out a bad movie or two, but I have faith that this is going to be fantastic. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Did you like what you see here? Do you like these trailer reactions? If you do, please feel free to like and subscribe. And as always, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll catch you next time.